We are live, ladies. Hello, ladies. Hello, my friend Kelani and my friend Brittany. How are you?
Hi, we're so good. How are you?
I'm so excited to have you, ladies. You guys are the first duo I've had on Women Investor Wednesday because, you're partners in
Yes.
crime. Right.
Through and through.
Only way to do it. All right. So, so the audience, I'm going to introduce you in case I don't know how in the world any of my audience does not know who the two of you are, but I'm going to do a little bit of an intro.
Okay.
So Kelani Blackwell is with CBRE. Yes.
I was with CBRE. I'm full-time entrepreneur now.
You are.
I am.
So your bio that we have that went to everyone still says you're with CBRE. So we need to change that.
That's all right. Listen, I'm not, once you're there, you're kind of always there. So I literally had a meeting with some CBRE folks today, still really ingrained in what they've got going on. And furthermore, they're actually really big supporters of women in real estate. And I'm sure we could talk about
We're definitely going to talk about that. Okay. So you were with CBRE. How long were you with CBRE?
Just over 2 years before women in real estate took over my entire life.
Where we met. But we won't go there yet. Okay, so and we're going to talk about women in real estate. And Brittany is also an entrepreneur, and I can't wait to talk about your home development in Houston.
I actually just got off an update call. It's a whole thing. So yeah.
Well, all I can tell you is I've developed 2 properties. After the first one, I said I would never do it again. And now in the middle of the second one, I said I'm definitely never doing it again. And these were just easy commercial buildings. I can't even imagine a residential development.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's been a great learning process, and I'm excited to share the knowledge with our audience. So it's worth it.
So speaking of your audience, so we met on Clubhouse because Kelani and Brittany had created a room on Clubhouse that I jumped in one day, which was called Women in Real Estate. I think that was probably what it was called, right? In the beginning, or no?
Probably.
Could have been.
Something like that. Could have been.
And I was like, a woman in real estate. I need to be part of this group.
Yep. It was at least held in the club. So we know it was a women in real estate room. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like when Clubhouse was really popping the way that it was when it first came out, we were on there like at least 12 hours a day. We could have been talking about anything.
So I jumped on that club into that room. During the heyday, during COVID, I was on from 6 a.m. till 9. And then I was back on from 6 p.m. till 9. That was my schedule. Unless there were rooms that you guys had during the day that I popped in and out of. But I loved the message of women in real estate. It was a very sharing, very transparent, educational. I loved it. And then Kelani and Brittany said, we're going to create a group and talk about that, because I said, I'm in. So
and it's so funny because we knew we wanted to create the group, and we did, but then we were like, there's really a need off of Clubhouse for this environment, this collaboration, this, space for women. And so we decided to turn it into an organization and a business. And we did that before we ever met in person. And so it was really divinely ordered. Like everything just fell into place, and we became incredible business partners. And I mean, I don't think we could really ask for more.
How long before from the time you two met to when you met in person? Was it the Dallas thing the first time you guys met in person?
Yeah. Arlington, Texas for the first ever club. No, that's not the first time. That was the first event we did as Women in Real Estate. We had met for my birthday the month prior in Atlanta. We were invited to this developers meeting in Atlanta, and it happened to be my birthday weekend. And that was the first time we met, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Wire, but tell the audience, because this is mind blowing, how many members you have currently.
Okay. So, all right.
First of all, I feel like this number, and Kelani, I'm going to let you go for it, but like this our most recent numbers weren't taken like in the last, I would say, 4 months. So we probably have a lot more than what we think we have, but this is
right. So exactly. So that's why I kind of laugh when you ask that. On Clubhouse, our membership base on Clubhouse in the Women in Real Estate Club, I believe is 68 or 69,000. So,
Amazing.
and we've
That's
had
amazing.
that, we've just now, I think we hit a year. We got that club in January of 20 no, God, a year and a half. We didn't get it right away. Because do you remember when,
Yes.
Beth, you had to apply for the clubs? You couldn't just make them.
Yeah.
Now Clubhouse is completely different. Now they have these things called houses. And
I don't even know
we have one of those too. I don't even know how it works, but our club is almost 70,000 strong. And so over the last year, I've been really intentional about trying to move our audience off of Clubhouse onto other platforms, because you never know. At any given day, Clubhouse could be gone, Instagram could be gone. You know, you never really know. So we've been really intentional about growing other platforms as well. And to the point where I'm having to make a concerted effort to get on Clubhouse. And it's, you know, we're not in COVID anymore. We're not just sitting at home. We don't have all hours of the day to sit on Clubhouse. We actually have to do the work. So now we're just trying to be really intentional about growing the audience, but all of our growth that we've experienced on Clubhouse and on every other platform, including our membership base in Women in Real Estate, because it's not just a Clubhouse club.
Right.
We created Women in Real Estate, the company that is a membership service. And I think, and all of our growth has been organic on every platform.
So it was so funny. I'm not on Clubhouse really ever anymore either, but 2 or 3 days ago, you're going to remember this, 2 or 3 days ago, somehow, you know how happens with your iPhone. Like I think I accidentally picked Clubhouse, and all of a sudden I heard Kelani going, Beth, I see you joined. I'm like, oh, I'm not. I was like, no,
Not here.
and then I was like, oh, well, I do have some time. So then I went into the room. I'm like, well, what are they talking about? And then they were like, do you want to talk? Do you want to talk? I'm like, later, maybe later.
Maybe later.
I was, yeah. So that was the funniest thing. I just heard Kelani's voice, and I didn't know that I had joined the room.
and that's so funny that you say that, because the app is different now. There's a lot of people on there, different influencers. And when you see someone from like the OG Clubhouse days, I'm like, oh my God, Beth is here, Alvin's here, Brittany's here. Like we have to, take care of our people. But yeah,
for sure. So I'm a member of the Wire membership.
Mm-hmm.
I don't attend all of the things.
Nobody attends all the things. There's too much.
there is, you guys offer so much that I wish I could attend all the things, but I try to attend some. So tell the ladies in the room what you guys offer, because it is amazing. And I have told many, many, many people about the club. You know, we're talking about Nikki. There's a lot of women that I'm like, you guys check this out, because it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and Kelani, I'm going to pass that to you, but I also want to acknowledge you, Beth, because I mean, you've done such a great job of tapping into the network. I was counting like 4 or 5 of our supporters or actual members are speaking at the Women's Investment Conference coming up. And and that's what it's all about, right? It's about pulling each other in and up. And I just want to commend you, hands down. You've done such a good job of it.
Well, absolutely. And our members that get the most, I think, benefit from Wire are people that understand the value in it. And for you, I think very early on, it was very clear that that's our network, that's our people. And so not only are you a part of Wire, but I think that's a testament to how collaboration is, or why collaboration is so important. You've got your own event, you've got your own audience, your own group, and yet you found another group to find alignment with, and have brought those people into your ecosystem and vice versa. So super hands off to you.
Yeah, Peely and Patty and you guys. And last year we had some people in the audience from the Wire group that were more local to South Florida. Yeah. And, what?
And Nikki is speaking too.
Absolutely. Nikki. Yeah. So, yeah. So, okay. So tell the audience, and then I want to talk to Brittany about the development. But talk about some of tell people, if they don't know what Wire is, how can they become more aware, and what do you guys offer? Because it's such an amazing group.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for that. We put a lot of energy and effort into feeding into the community. So, Women in Real Estate is a community. It's a membership base. If you're interested, go to joinwomeninrealestate.com, click membership. You can read all about what I'm about to tell you. But we have it's a two-pronged approach. Okay. So the first one is the virtual experience, the digital experience. This was founded in the digital age, and Zoom could not be more of our best friend. So when you become a member of Wire, you get access to our back-end portal where we have it's essentially our own social media network where you get to interact with all of the other members all over the country, anywhere they might be. What's really cool about our membership base is that we have members at all different levels doing all different things. So that's residential realtors, that's wholesalers, investors, commercial brokers, builders, developers, mortgage folks, commercial loan folks, and everything in between, right? So if you need something, we likely have somebody in the network that can help you with what you need. And it's crazy. It's this crazy sisterhood. Like, I'm a Wire member, you're a Wire member. Okay, what do you need? The giving is just so free in our community. So you have the back-end portal where you can communicate with everybody. In that portal also lists all of our events, virtual and in person. So we are constantly holding virtual meetings several times throughout the month for accountability, meetings centered around special skill sets. We bring in experts to come in and teach. Beth, you taught recently in the community, which we appreciated so much. And we also have links to all of our in-person events. So that takes you to kind of the second part of this is we have local chapters, and we're launching local chapters in markets where we have a good member count. So right now we're in Dallas, Houston, DMV, Charlotte, the Bay Area, Chicago. We're launching LA next. And then I think we're going to be working on South Florida with Nikki very, very soon as well. So we've got that, and our chapters host in-person events for hyper-local connectivity in person. The behind the screen, it works so much, only so well. There's nothing that can replace being with somebody in person. So
you guys came to Cleveland.
We did, and one of my favorite events till this day. So the last part I want to touch on real quick is the education. So in our portal, we have recorded content from bringing in experts that have taught a multitude of different subjects and topics in real estate. So furthermore than just becoming a part of this network and getting the support from a group of women that experience similar things, we're entrepreneurs, we're caretakers. Getting this kind of support doesn't really exist anywhere else. But furthermore, you're getting exposed to a lot more. So if you are a real estate agent, a lot of real estate agents don't even own their own property. Okay, well, how are you taking what you're learning and investing and creating wealth for yourself and for your family? How are you adding to your tool belt to become the best real estate professional? So we have recorded hours and hours of recorded contents, classes, master classes, where we've brought in experts to teach as well. So it's education, it's networking, it's connectivity, it's all that.
And guess who my financial advisor is?
Don't tell me Larry D. West.
Yes, he is.
First two.
Yes. Right.
I watched his class and I love this guy. And I think I've been with him over a year. I hired him the night that he did the class. I said, how much are you? I'm hiring you.
He's amazing.
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 And Nick is our attorney. And we don't recommend people that we haven't had either really strong recommendation for or that we don't know personally. These are people we work with that we like, that we love, that we trust, and that are really aligned with, the values of Wire. We just can't do it any other way. And right. Also, I want to put this caveat in because we get this question all the time. Can men be a part of Wire? And the answer is yes. We do have men that are a part of Wire, and they are some of the most supportive, amazing human beings on the face of the planet. And, that's what's important. If you have the right vibe, then we are your tribe.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay. So now we're going to switch gears. So why, we talked about why am I doing Women Investor Wednesday? I'm doing it because only of all of the investors in commercial real estate, only 3% are women. And of the 3%, 50% of those are inherited or spouses, which means only 1.5% are entrepreneurial women, which when I found that out, I said, okay, I'm going to have to change that. How do I change that? And at first I thought it was education, because I thought, well, why aren't you investing? Is it you don't have the money? And it was basically, well, I think it takes millions. We know it doesn't. I think it's too complicated. And they're, a mortgage broker doing very complicated deals. Someone's told me it's too risky. I said, well, where are you investing your money? The stock market. Oh yeah, my Netflix dropping to 80%. That's not too risky. But then I zeroed it down again and again and again. And I found that the number one reason women aren't investing is they don't see other women in their circle that are investing. So I said, okay, so now it's if I see it, I can be it. So that's when I said 3 years ago, like during COVID, we were going to have the event. We had to cancel it. So I did virtual. And I interviewed women that were investors. And then last year we did it in person in South Florida. We had 107 women. As of right now, I think we have 180 women. So my goal is to double it to get it to 200. So the goal was put a lot of women on stage, interview them. How do you invest so that the women in the audience can see it and then understand they can be it? But what else has come out of it, which I'm so excited about, is that last year we had a woman that was raising money for a multifamily development, and women in the room invested with her, and she was able to do an all-woman syndication and with women in the room. Yay. And then women in the room were looking for places to invest. I can't find a deal. I don't know where to start with the deal. So this year, and that was a very informal, organic thing that happened. This year, we're going to have a networking time where you'll have dots that say, I'm a GP looking for investors, or I'm an LP looking for GPs. And there will be a matchmaking, because now not only will we educate, not only will you be able to meet women that are doing what you want to do in all the asset classes, you will also be able to maybe learn about deals, which there's no pressure to invest, but what a great thing to have an opportunity to learn.
Absolutely.
So I said, I'm going to do Women Investor Wednesdays every Wednesday leading up to the conference to just get people thinking about it and learning about the conference, which is in, I guess, 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So quick.
Yeah.
It's coming so quick.
Yeah.
It is.
So I want to talk to you, Brittany, about so had you ever done a development before?
No. My first foray into real estate was flipping houses, and I got can I curse?
Yes.
Okay. I got
Yeah.
my ass handed to me. Okay. And that was part of the reason why women in real estate was so important to me, because had I had a community that had my best interest in mind, they would have made sure that some of the decisions that were made weren't made. And I probably would have done a lot more. I would have probably had a lot more success in that first foray. But no, I hadn't done a development. I had taken development classes through ULI, through Harbor Bank of Maryland, through Chris Senegal. But you can study it all day long. There's nothing like finding someone who will partner with you and hold your hand through it. And so that was the linchpin for me. Women in Real Estate, we did a diversified development summit in Houston. Our second one was in Houston. Our first one was in New Orleans. And I looked around and I was like, you could throw a rock and find a deal here, And we had the support system there, people who loved us, who supported us, who would be willing to do deals with us. And so I tapped on Chris, who has 15 years of experience in the area. And I said, hey, I found this piece of property. Do this deal with me. Like, put your money where your mouth is, And he did. And so that's how I got into my first development.
Wow. That's amazing. So tell us about the development.
So it's very exciting. It's humble beginnings because, we're trying to keep it all together here, but it's 2 phases. The plan is for 2 phases. We just increased that like these past couple weeks. First 5 homes, we're working on getting the replats done right now. Entitlements have been taking a really long time. But the benefit was that we actually ended up with about 2,000 square feet more than we thought we bought. So this area of
Awesome.
Houston is very old. The title work and the survey weren't done correctly, and we ended up with more land. So who knew, you know?
How great is that?
Yeah, it was pretty great. So we're almost through entitlements, and then from there, hopefully it'll be relatively smooth sailing. And really having this opportunity made me more cognizant of the challenges that first-time developers and new builders go through, and especially as a woman in the industry. So I created a fund that's not only going to support this project, but it's going to support other women doing business in primarily minority communities. So
talk about the fund. Tell us about the fund.
Yeah. So if for anyone who doesn't know what a real estate fund is, it's basically an opportunity to passively invest in a real estate deal. So that could be a syndication of a multifamily project. It could be in a development like mine. It could be, some people do it for renovating single family homes. Like, it's just a way of pooling money. And so my fund focuses on Black women primarily investing in Black communities, because what we see is, even when there is opportunity for us to serve the communities that we're from, often access to capital is the biggest barrier, right? You know, I've really been able to lean on my partner and our network to circumvent some of those issues, and, you know, have a great network of lenders and things like that. But you still got to bring money to the table, and you still got to have the knowledge to be able to raise money when you need it. And that's not a skill set that most people have had the opportunity and the blessing to fall into. And so I really wanted to make sure that there was a pathway for anyone coming behind me to be successful.
How large is the fund? Is there a cap on it? Have you met your cap? Have you raised the money?
So we raised our first round, which was just to acquire the property cash, but I would like to raise another round to handle the construction with as little like lending as possible. So my big goal is to do $1 million this year, and that's going to be between my fund and also Wire's fund. I think we'll raise a lot more than that. And it also depends on projects, right? We don't just like take money to take money. Like, we got to place it somewhere. So Wire has some things in the works. I am hoping to also work on some really interesting like partnerships that involve like economic development and not just real estate. And so, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, we'll raise when we need to raise, and when we don't, you know, people have to wait in line.
Yeah, I raise money for my deals. So I do a deal by deal syndication, right? And I've had people forever, you need to do a fund, you need to do a fund, you need to do a fund. And the reason I'm personally have always said that I don't want to do a fund is I don't want the pressure of having the money sitting there and having to find a deal, because I, in my career, have seen people make bad decisions because the money's sitting there. They might be getting fees on it or whatever, and they feel like they've got to put it out there, and if they don't put it out, they have to give it back. And I'm like, Kelani and I were talking before the call about stress. That just would add to my stress. This way, if I find a deal and I like the deal, then I go to my family and friends and say, I have a deal, you want to put money in? But it happens. But the problem with that is it happens very fast because the due diligence. And I have lost deals because I haven't been able to raise the money in the time.
Yeah. And so I've mitigated that in two ways. Number one, we have a network of 70,000 people. There's always a deal, right? So like that's not as scary. But also, you know, our target market are people who are not have not traditionally had access to these types of opportunities. And it's allowed us to come to the table with more flexible requests. So, you know, I'm still paying interest on money, but maybe at a lesser percentage for X amount of time until I place your capital in a deal. And that way it keeps me honest, right? It allows me to make the best decision without the pressure of the timeline, but it also still gives great returns to my investors. So everybody's happy. But I agree, Beth, like having that money and being able to execute quickly, it's really, really important. And I knew in like my demographic that it would be easy for people to say at the last minute, the economy's changing, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm this, I'm that. And so I really wanted to put some safeguards in place to make sure that if I came to the table and I said that I could do a deal, that I could do it.
Right. Yeah. And you guys, do you remember, I'm not sure if you remember Tracy Prigmore?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So she raised a hotel fund and I invested in her hotel fund. And now she has a deal that she wants to use the money for. So it's very exciting.
It's very exciting.
It's all very exciting. Okay. So we're going to talk when you guys are in Orlando in 2 weeks from tonight. That really just dawned on me that it's 2 weeks from today.
Makes me a little nervous. We still have some stuff to do.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, I need to book a plane ticket. Hold on.
Me too.
You ladies better book your flights. So and you're going to be there 2 weeks minus 1 day because you're going to be at the VIP dinner
the Tuesday
on the 7th, right?
Right.
And I think I shared with you 27 women on the waiting list for the VIP dinner. All of you women watching that are on the waiting list, it's not going to happen. Go to have dinner somewhere else. All of you should go have dinner together somewhere else because I tried to call the restaurant and said, can I just extend it to 10 more people? But it's going to be a very intimate gathering. It's very exciting. And like I said, I think we're up to 180. So I think there's 20 tickets left to get to my 200. And you guys should all go and sign up if you haven't already signed up because we have rock stars like Kelani and Brittany who are speaking. And the price, as Josie, this is Kelani, why you need a Josie. Josie is texting me, remind everyone prices are going up in 6 days. So
yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Exactly. So everyone likes to wait to the last minute. Our first price that we had for 6 months, $297, cheap. And then on February 1st, we raised it, I think, to $397. And now on March 1st or February 28th, $497. The last minute Annies, they get penalized. Sign up at $297 for 9 speakers, a keynote speaker, lunch. Great deal. You guys do a lot of events. Is that a great deal or what?
It is a great deal.
A great deal. That's a really good deal. So
and especially like because they're the networking opportunity. I mean that you can't put a price on it. Honestly, it's life changing.
And everything that Beth does is like incredible and nice. You know, you do a really great job. You take a lot of pride in everything that you do. So I'm excited to be in this environment. These types of opportunities don't come around very often to be in a room, you know, like this. A lot of people want opportunities, you know, wish for opportunities, want a seat at the table. And we are living examples that you just make the table, right?
Make the table, right?
Come join us.
We were friends on Clubhouse, and then they had this group. I said, I'm going to you guys need to come to Cleveland. I'm going to create an event. We're all going to meet together in person.
Yeah,
right?
We did. I was so impressed just like with the turnout there for a space that had so little going on that you've completely turned around. And we brought that energy to this huge space, and it was absolutely effective and wonderful.
Yeah. You got to be in the room where it happens, right? You got to be in the room where it happens. I mean, we've had a lot of people say, are you going to do it virtually? And we're just not, you know, it's complicated. Then I've tried it before. Then there's a lot of complaints because of connectivity. And you know what? If you want to be in the room where it happens, where women investors are talking about doing residential developments, creating funds, buying shopping centers, self-storage, hotels, you need to be there, and hurry up because the price is going up.
Absolutely.
So ladies, I'm going to see you are we doing 6:30 Instagram Live?
We can. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
So we're jumping off of StreamYard. Thank you all for showing up. And we're going to see all of you, or those of you signed up in 2 weeks in Orlando. And for any of you all that are interested, I'm going on their Instagram Live now at 6:30.
Perfect. We'll see you in a minute.
Ladies, thank you.
That's women. Listen, on Instagram, my name is right here. If you follow me real quick on Instagram, you'll see that we're live. This side?
Kelani B.
Yes.
Follow her and go on Instagram.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thanks, Beth.